Hey guys, woo, happy Wednesday. I've got Toothless. She's getting big. Look how big she's getting, guys. I weighed her the other day. She went from being barely a pound when we got her. She's 4.4 pounds as of last week. So she's getting big. Huh? She's a good girl. And she's such a cuddle bug. She really is. But we've had to put squirt bottles in every room of the house because she saw me lift it up. She got nervous. She is going like crazy. Before we know it, it's gonna be time to get her spayed. But she's such a cuddle bug. She spends pretty much all day in my office with me when I'm working. And then if I go up, like up the stairs, or up downstairs, she follows me. When Frankie's home, of course, Frankie spends a lot of time with her too. And, you know, a lot of nights she sleeps in Frankie's room, but some nights she doesn't. She sleeps in my room. And so, or in our room, I should say, but she sleeps on my side of the bed. Like she'll come curl up in the crook of my arm and like sleep by me. So, but she's still very much like a puppy because she still wants to chew like that. Okay, and she's gone. But she has taken to like jumping on, and it's the one thing I do not stand for with cats. None of the cats I've ever had before have ever been like ones to get on the kitchen counter or jump on the dining room table or any of that stuff. But she has taken to starting to do that. So at first she was only doing it on my desk in my office. So I had a squirt bottle up there and I would squirt her every time she got on my desk because she changed settings on my computer a few times. And I tried to look up how to lock my keyboard and it's like this crazy sequence. I'm like, I can't do that every time I walk away from my computer. So I've had to like figure out if I minimize everything in the screen, then she can't like edit my video that's up on the screen. So I just minimize everything before I walk away, just to make sure. And then now we've got a squirt bottle near the dining room table because she's taken to getting up on there when we're not looking. And the other day I was doing something on the kitchen counter and she tried to get up on it and I batted her down. So as far as I know, she has not successfully gotten on the kitchen counter yet. But we're trying to keep her from doing that because I can't abide by animals on the counter or on like tabletops. Because, you know, like it's one thing if like, you know, yeah, my dogs are all over this couch and there's dog hair everywhere and I vacuum 47 times a day, but it is what it is. And I vacuum them and I do the de-shedding brush on them and I bathe them and I do all the things and there's just an endless supply of hair. But my dogs know, like, they don't ever jump on the counter. You know what I mean? Like, you know how some dogs will get up on the counter and take stuff off the counter? They never do that. Lundy did a couple times when she was a puppy, but like, you know, learning. Anyway, so we're working on teaching her that, you know, like Marty sees her doing it and now because he's seen her jump on my desk a few times. So he's tried to do it now a couple times. And I'm like, bro, you're like 10. Like, don't start picking up bad habits from the kitten. Like, the next thing I know, he'll be on the kitchen counter when I walk in there. So I'm like, yeah, spray bottle. So now sometimes all I have to do is like grab it and she like jumps because she knows what's coming. So she's learning. She's definitely learning, but she just ran by. But yeah, you got to have a squirt bottle. So Greg Kosher, hello, David Glunt. I hope you're feeling better today. I don't know if you got any answers from your doc the other day, but I hope you are feeling better. Shiloh Akers, hello, how are you? Mike Birch, howdy. What's happening? Toothless, the indoor boss. Yes, the agent of chaos. Mike laid on the stairs today for a couple of minutes trying to get her to come over to him, and she was not having it. So he's like, he calls her Dragon. He's like, Dragon, come here. Larry Parrish, hello, what's happening? Yeah. Prayers and blessings from Eastern Iowa. Hello, Reverend Joe Jacobson. What's going on? What is going on? I'm excited about the visitors, guys, which I'll tell you guys about in just a couple minutes. There's been a change to that as well, just since I set this live. So unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, depending on how you want to look at it, we'll see. We've got a home game this Friday night that I don't have to work in the concession stand, so I actually get to watch the halftime show, which I'm excited about. And I realized I don't have any, like, their school colors are like maroon and white. And I realized that I didn't really have any like maroon tops. I have some that are like close, like more pink than maroon or more brown than maroon. My hair is a hot, stinking mess today, guys. I tried curling it differently today and for like that beach wave look, and I did a terrible job, and it looks like I stuck my finger in a light socket. Anyway, I just like it looks like I haven't washed it or combed it. I don't know. It just looks bleh. Anyway, it's clean, I promise. I did wash it. Hello, Jerry Jones. Um, so I forget why I was telling you this. Oh yeah, so she's got a home game tonight, or tonight, Friday night, and then Saturday we have to go. Well, we don't have to go. We get to go to the Mississippi State game because I think I mentioned you guys in Sippin' and Spillin' this last week. That which I was gonna film one today. Time got away from me. Life, whatever. I tomorrow I have a bunch of editing I need to do for Friday's video because I started it, but it's not done. And Frankie and I have a standing date tonight to watch The Summer I Turned Pretty when she gets home from church. So, so there's that. And then, so I'll work on that. I'll get up earlier tomorrow and squeeze in getting that finished because I do have, speaking of my hair looking like a hot ratty mess, I have a haircut tomorrow because it needs it. It needs a little trim, a little spring cleaning, if you will. And my tinsel's coming in. Um, need them roots done. But I'll be able to finish that tomorrow. But anyway, so Friday we have the home game Friday night. And so Friday, like I'll do my cleaning, my weekly clean, and then I'll do um, obviously my regular chores and stuff with the animals. And my girls have taken to laying somewhere weird. I found where they were laying the last several times, but right now I'm stumped and I have searched everywhere. Every time I found a clutch and was careful not to disturb the area, but took the eggs, they would move to a new location. Well, now I'm like, I don't even know. So we think that they're in that big patch that we need to burn out. That's like a ditch that's in like right at the edge of their thing. We think that they're getting through there. Anyway, we'll have to, we've got some maintenance we got to do on that whole area, which I think is probably going to happen this weekend. Now that well, no, it won't happen Saturday because Saturday we're going to be at Mississippi State, which is what I started to tell you. See, my brain is all over the place. So Mississippi State, Frankie is doing a workshop there all day Saturday. I have to get her there about noon, which is like towards the end of registration. And then I've got to hang out there and basically be like a phone call away in the parking lot to like meet up with her and Trey because I'm their chaperone for the day. But most of the time they're going to be in rehearsal. And then at 6 o'clock, the game starts, which I have tickets for. And then we'll watch the game, watch the halftime show. Frankie wants to stay and watch the rest of the game. So, which I don't know. We'll see how she's feeling after the game. She may or may not want to. I don't know. We'll see. But, and then be able to like go because she's going to perform at the halftime show with a bunch of other band members from different high schools with the college band. So it's kind of exciting. She ordered her khaki shorts. She's all excited. And then we've got Sunday is probably when we'll do some maintenance out here after church and after Sunday lunch. So hopefully get some of that stuff done because Saturday I'll film a little bit of, I'm going to try. I don't know if you guys remember, but a while ago I got these binoculars that have a thing that you can put your cell phone in so you can film like what the binocular sees, like zoomed in, right? Which is way better than like the zoom in on your phone and it holds it steady, provided I can hold it steady because it's not like I'm going to have a place to put it. It's like a little tripod that they go in. It's like this big. I think I can bring that in. We're going to hope. We're going to hope. But anyway, so I'm going to bring that so I can maybe hopefully record at least a little bit of that just for my own sake, if not to just insert a few seconds of it in a video. And then try to get some stuff done around here on Sunday, which is hard because we'll have like a partial day then. It gets hard when we have anything going on like one day, So, and then the following weekend, Frankie's got an away game Friday night, and then Saturday night they have homecoming dance. So, um, so yeah, and I think her boyfriend's getting her a promise ring, which is like crazy, but yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, that's the next couple weeks. But oh, I'm sorry you lost your grandma. I'm sorry. Hey, B Patton. Cat hairballs in the third way. We did actually, and that'll be in Friday's video. It wasn't so much, there was a few things that we had to get, and we had to make sure that they were the right things for the truck. So they finally arrived, and we basically verified that yes, they're going to work. So, um, so we'll see. Um, Hopefully, we can get rolling on that again. Um, but a little bit at a time, everything just takes time and money. That's what I always say. It just takes time and money, you know. Um, I know a promise ring is a big deal. I know. But they really are like, she got miffed at him today. This is a perfect example of like how well they communicate. He lost track of time, and he's not good at managing his time. Like, he knows that, right? Like, he's like ADHD boy. He's all over the place. He can't remember when he has to be where. Frankie has to like go over his day with him like every day. like but he's like a really good kid, right? So he was bringing her home from school today, and they were trying to figure out, like, I guess, where they were going to meet after school, and she thought they were meeting at like the soccer field because he has soccer his last free period or something. I don't know. Anyway, but he added tennis to his schedule. So like today is tennis, but she didn't know that. So he wasn't answering his phone, and she got worried because um, with his senior schedule, he's on and off campus like all day long, right? So she was like, oh my gosh, something happened. And it said his battery was about to die on his phone on like 360. So she was freaking out. And so she called his mama and she was like, I can't get a hold of your son. Like, he's supposed to be picking me up from school, and like, I don't know where he's at, and he's not answering his phone. And she's like, do you know, or like, can you get a hold of him? And then she's like, oh, and then he called her back. And um, so his mama said, you make sure he calls me as soon as he's done explaining himself to you. And so I think he got a ration. But she told him, like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And so then he said, like, he was getting a little bit like, I don't know, like, well, do I have to tell you every time I change my plans or whatever? And she's like, no, of course not. But like, if you knew that I thought I was meeting you here and then you didn't answer your phone, I immediately think something bad happened, because it's not like you to not answer your phone. So this was like out of character. It was a weird situation. You weren't where you said you were going to be, or where I thought said you were going to be, like the whole 9 yards. Anyway, so that was like a whole thing. So she was miffed at him. She comes home and she tells me this whole thing after he drops her off. And then like 5 minutes later, he's texting her like, you were 100% right. I'm so sorry. That will not happen again. Blah, 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 blah. And like, they had talked it out and whatever. And like, it wasn't like a 3-day thing or a week-long thing or a fine then, I'm breaking up with you. It was just you're right. I understand why that was upsetting to you. Like, that won't happen again. Like, they're very good. Like, if they're driving somewhere, she'll be like, hold on, I have to text Trey first because he knows I'm driving us to Tupelo right now. And she's like, and then when we get there, she texts him, we got here. First, like, just to let, like, and they do it with each other, like, just to let the other one know that they got there safely, So they're very sweet. Anyway, so he texted me last night asking about her ring size and sent me a picture of the ring that he wants to get her. And it's really pretty. And she kind of knows about it because they have discussed this, like they have discussed their future plans and things. He is a quick learner. So she does have him trained. My daughter, that is one thing that I am, which I don't know how much I can take credit for this at all, maybe, if, I don't know, but it's the one thing that I'm very, very, very like proud about her is she has never taken crap from any boy that has come into her life. If he does not like put the effort forth, or if he gives her the ick in any way, she's like, deuces. Like she does not play. She like puts that hammer down. Um, so it's impressive. But at the same time, she does not emasculate the guy. Like she wasn't like dragging him in front of his friends. She was waited till they were in the car and she was like, I was worried. This is why I was worried because blah blah blah. And he got a little like testy with her because he was having a little bit of a tood, and then he realized he goes, I was being a jerk and I should never have, like, there was no reason for me to react that way. Like I should have just said I'm sorry and that I will not do that again moving forward. Like the communication these two have is like stellar at their age. I can't even with how mature they are. But she's really good about like she calls them on it when it happens. Like it's amazing. So it's just crazy. But poor Trey, I know. But anyway, so he was texting me about it, and so I kind of was like, so what's the occasion? And he's like, well, I just know she really likes this ring. It's the Rapunzel ring. Let's see, I can show you guys the picture. Because she never watches our lives, and neither does he. So this, like, nobody will see this that would like that it would impact in any way. Let's see, where's this? Here we go. Let's see if I can make it bigger so you guys can see it. Let's see if I can hold it. But that's the ring. So it's super simple, super cute. It's a Pandora ring. But anyway, so he goes, well, it's just because she likes it. And I know she wants it. And they have talked about that kind of thing. So with homecoming coming up next week, I'm wondering if he's going to give her a promise ring at homecoming. And she got poster board today to make him a sign, like asking him to go. Even though they already got their tickets, she just was like, I want to do something sweet for him. And then he was saying how he was like, I haven't surprised you with anything in a while. I need to surprise you soon. Like they're just really cute. You know what I mean? Like they're just adorable. So I have a feeling that young man's going to be my son-in-law one day. You have got the place looking great. Love seeing you and your beautiful daughter work together. As always, say God's blessings to you and the family. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. Billy Tyson, hello from Jackson County. What's happening? I wish my husband was like that. His motto is, he's always right. Yeah. Bless him. Mike's like that a lot of the times too. I think part of it is the generation and just the way that is. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. Give him the best advice my dad gave me. Never leave a woman waiting. Oh, 100%. That is my one. Mike and I have the same two fights a lot. It is, number one is leaving stuff on the dining room table that he won't let me move because he's going to do something with it. That is my biggest trigger. I grew up in a house where my mom is now in full-blown hoarding, which I didn't really share with you guys the other day. I did a little bit, but it's bad. Anyway, I grew up with there being a pile of laundry, papers, randomness on the dining room table as a kid, like my whole life. And it was always like stressful to me because then it was like if we were going to have people over, and this was back when it was just confined to the table being messy and like one room that was like the door was closed, right? If people were coming over, if it was a holiday or something, it was the scramble to get the table cleared off. So we like never ate dinner at the dining room table, like unless it was a special occasion and like people were over, right? There was a small period, like a small window where it stayed cleared off for a while. But then anyway, so that's like a trigger for me is like my nose, like it took me 20 years to get it through his head But I finally was like, I can't live like this. Like, you stop putting things on the dining room table. He's like, I don't understand why it's such a big deal. It's a flat surface. And I'm like, exactly. Like, it's just going to collect stuff. And I can't have the stuff. I can't have it turn into a bunch of boxes. And, he'll get something in for his seeds and he'll put it on the table and then something else for the garden and he'll put on. Anyway, it drives me what, because I'm like, you have an entire ass shop out there and a garage. Put it anywhere but the dining room table. Right? So that's my thing. So anyway, number one fight is the dining room table, which actually has finally been taken off the roster because because he's finally learned, like, we had like a come to Jesus about it. And he finally understood, like, oh, I get it. Like, that's why this is such a big deal for you. Like, I understand now. So now if he does put something on the table, or if he's like actually, like, we're canning or something like that and we're using the table for stuff, he'll be like, I will clean this up tomorrow. I won't leave this here. Because his big thing was he would put stuff there and I'd be like, I need to clean. And part of me cleaning is cleaning off the crap of the table that you've now left here this whole week that you said you were going to move, last week. And he'll be like, well, don't touch it because you're just going to pile it somewhere. You're going to stick it in my office. And I'm like, it doesn't belong here. I don't care. Anyway, that's been our fight, but he's finally been good about that. And then the other one is me waiting on him. Like, I think we have a plan for something, and that actually happened this weekend. I think we have a plan for something. He decides to deviate from the plan, and I end up wasting time waiting on him. And we're not just talking like 30 minutes, we're talking like hours. So I get like frustrated, but those are the two fights that we have like constantly. But it is beautiful, isn't it, Auntie Anne? I know. I think it's so sweet. I think it's so sweet. I think it's super cute. They're adorable together. Those cowbells are rough on the ears. I know. I'm going to bring my earplugs. I am going to bring Frankie's cowbell because I got to be able to cheer for her. And then, because she's got a Mississippi State cowbell that she got for her birthday one year from a friend. And then my binoculars. Those are like my three things that I have to remember to bring. So I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. I love it. Hi, James Hall. What's going on? Hey, Jay. My dining table is a catch-all, and it is for a lot of people. I guess the difference is that, like, yeah, you might walk in and throw your mail on it, or like you might put your load of laundry on it or something for like a few minutes or maybe a day. But like, that's not what I grew up with. I grew up with, like, the water bill didn't get paid because it got buried under the laundry that was piled on the table and then the water got shut off. Like, that's what I grew up with. So it stresses me out. Like, I can't. It makes me very like, oh no, there's things on the table. Yeah. I want to be able to, at any given time, for somebody able to come over to my house and us be like, oh, let's have dinner. Like, and that happens sometimes, especially in the South. Like, it used to happen a lot when we had a pool in the backyard, especially during the summer. We'd have impromptu like get-togethers at our house and end up having dinner, and if it was nice, we'd eat outside, but still, that's not the point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's my whole thing. My husband leaves his tools everywhere throughout the house and asks me what I've done with it. Oh my God, why do men do that? So annoying. They leave their stuff everywhere and then they're like, have you seen this? Where is that? You must have moved it. This or that, this or that. And I'm like, bro, like, I didn't touch it. Like, did not touch it. You want to know the funny thing, Reverend Joe Jacobson? He's saying Mike needs a dining table in the shop so he can pile his stuff on it. He actually has the first dining room table that we bought together is actually in the shop, and he uses it as like a potting table. It's in the shop. It's been in the shop since we moved. It's just it was from IKEA. It was like a pine regular table. We had it in it was in our first apartment that we got together right after we got married. It was a 2-bedroom apartment, and we got that as our dining room table. And we've brought it with us. We used it in various things in various ways over time, and now it's out there and it's falling apart. Frankie actually broke a piece of I wish I'd been filming when it happened, but I wasn't. She leaned up against it with like her butt, and you could see it's just little like 1x2s that are stacked together and like compressed, right? And one of the 1x2s like came popped off. And I was like, oh no, there goes the table. But yeah, it's kind of, but yeah, he does have one in the shop that we actually used to use as a dining room table. So the joys of married life. That's right, Drops. So true. So true. 100%. Shyla Aker says, I can't even remember the last time we ate at our dining room table. We don't do it very often when it's just the three of us. When it's just the three of us, a lot of the time, we're not eating all at the same time. Like I make dinner and maybe Frankie and I'll eat together, but Mike, especially like I told you guys this time of year, like he's out right now. Um, like he does not come in for dinner until like 9:30, 10 o'clock sometimes. He has been coming in earlier lately, but he's usually coming in when I'm going to bed. So sometime between 8:30 and 9. And I'm like, I'm already upstairs washing my face and brushing my teeth. And I'm like, see you later. you know. Um, it is what it is. So, but I mean, we had Trey over, I don't know, the other night. And I was like, okay, do you guys want to sit at the table and have dinner? Or we have this tradition of picking a really awful movie to watch. And we picked a really awful movie to watch. Well, Frankie picked it. It was Winnie the Pooh, but it's Blood and Honey or something like that. It was a horror movie about Winnie the Pooh. It was terrible. It was really bad. But anyway, we had our nice steaks for Labor Day on Labor Day, and we watched this awful movie. But I gave the kids a choice. I was like, "Do you want to eat at the table?" And she was like, "No, no, no. We want to watch a movie and eat dinner because we eat at this coffee table. I eat at my little side table in my chair, and then like Frankie sits here, and Trey and Mike sit here, and they just always eat dinner over on this side. We occasionally, but then like the last week, we had been working on something outside, and Trey had to go to work, and I was like, "Hey, I had like leftover shepherd's pie or venison stew or something that I had made." And I was like, "Do you want me to heat you up a bowl before you go to work?" And he was like, "Oh, that'd be great." So they sat at the dining room table and ate. But I was like, at least you had that option, you know? So don't forget a seat cushion. I don't have one that would work for that. I do have I have one of those collapsible chairs, but it has the little pop-up arms, and those are not allowed. And I only want to lug so much stuff in. I mean, I don't know what the seat that I will have will be because I'm in a weird section apparently. So I have no idea. I don't know. Um, when he fills that table up, he'll have to use the dining room table again. I know. He is forever like filling that table up and then cleaning it off. And then, he's constantly shifting stuff around the shop as he's building the different walls and things in the shop. It's a whole, which he hasn't filmed really any of it lately. He's done more in there, but we didn't really film any of it because he was doing it at like midnight on Tuesday. And I was like, I'm not out there to film it. Like, what am I going to do? I grew up in a household that ate at the dining room table, ate at the dining table every meal. Maybe that's why I'm so lax about it as an adult. Maybe that's why I'm the opposite. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. Where did you put that? I know. It's nuts, I tell ya. Tell him you threw it out and no money to replace it in this in this month. I know, right? Oh, trust me. He's good at losing stuff. He has a gift. In fact, that was one of my warnings when we moved here because I was like, at our old property, we're at less than an acre. And he would be like, I don't know where I put that tool. I don't know where I set it down. I was working over here and now it's not there. And I don't know where my rake is. And like he would be walking the whole thing of the property, less than an acre, trying to find this one rake or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know how you lose things in this much space. What happens when we have 45 acres? Is it just going to be like a sprinkling of tools across 45 acres? And it's not yet. Um, because usually like at least he'll throw everything in the back of the Polaris that he needs for whatever he's working on far away, and then the Polaris is what brings him back. So things do get piled up like underneath the overhang in the shop, which I really hate. Not gonna lie. I have reorganized it under the shop like 10 times. Frankie's reorganized it under the shop like 10 times. And then 5 minutes later, it looks like a bomb went off again. Because he'll just move stuff, like looking for one thing. He's just like Pigpen. That's what I call him. So I have my parents' old salt and pepper metal table with matching chairs. They must be at least 60 years old. Oh, that's cool, Billy. Our dining room and living room are closed off, so nothing goes on that table. The kitchen table is hard to find under all the stuff on it. Ah. Did you hear about Tim from Ridge Life stopping eating red meats? I did. He's got that alpha gel or whatever he thinks from a tick bite. We actually had some friends out here that ended up getting that. They got into a mess of ticks. And I don't know if you guys remember our friend Nathan. He's the one that had done like our trenching and stuff out here. Him and I think 2 out of his 3 daughters got it. And so he was like researching, because he was like, I can't not eat red meat. Like we live on venison and like this is not acceptable. Like I can't just eat chicken, because it's like it's mammals. You can't eat anything mammalian. So he could still have chicken and like fish, but he couldn't have like venison or beef, or it does really, more pertain to red meat. But technically it's the mammal protein that's in there. But anyway, or the sugar in the protein, however it's made up. But anyway, he did a bunch of research, and he's like, I was reading that people have had real success with acupuncture with it. And he found an acupuncturist out here that knew what to do for alpha gel. I always forget how you say it. It's like alpha. I always want to say alpha-gan, but it's not alpha-gan. That's a drug. But this he went for like 1 or 2 treatments, and then he was fine, and he was back to eating red meat. So I told Tim, I was like, you need to try that, because maybe. So 8x10 table in my shop, and you couldn't fit a piece of mail on it. Oh no, David, that would drive me crazy. I finally put all my 7 toolboxes in one location. I probably have 10 of every, because since the move, everything kind of got separated during the move and like reorganized. And then he was in the process of reorganizing again as he was building like his tool room. And so he was finding duplicates as he was going through stuff. So now he's got like the multiple toolboxes, and then like some of them are Frankie's tools, and then some are his tools. Eventually they'll all be her tools. But what are you gonna do? New sign idea for shop overhang area. If you move it from here, put it away. Oh, yes, Reverend Joe Jacobson, 100%. He didn't get it from a tick. He got it because he doesn't have a man card. Oh, no, David. Ah. Hello, Lonely Hitchhiker Kent. What's going on? We are doing well. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah. I have many pet peeves, I guess, Greg, when it comes to it. Mainly pertains to Mike's like messiness. Those are my big ones. And then and this one's small. I'm not trying to drag Mike right now, I swear. But one of my small pet peeves is we have a white like porcelain kitchen sink, right? So anytime you dump anything in it or rinse anything out, you have to rinse the sink out because it stains really easily. Alpha gal, thank you. I just want to say alpha gel because that's a drug, and that's what I'm used to saying, or androgel. But anyway, or alpha gan, because that was another one. But anyway, so anyway, long story short, like he'll dump his coffee cup out and then put it on the counter. And I'm like, bro, first of all, the dishwasher's dirty. Dump it out, stick it in the dishwasher. It takes 2 seconds, then it's not laying on the counter. And then you see the brown that is now just laying in the sink. Rinse it real quick. Takes 2 seconds. It's little things like that that just make me want to kick puppies, you know? So that's it. I think it's silly to self-diagnose when there is a simple blood test for it. Why can your life before confirming? Oh, why change your life before confirming? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't have time to watch the entire video. So I don't know if he said exactly what his symptoms were in it. Because the parts of the video I watched, he never, Colin, you're always such a downer. And first of all, they're glasses so I can read. So I can read your nasty comments. So goodbye, because I'm done. I'm over it. You can be mad at me. I don't care. I'm at a point in my life where right now you can just go away, and that's okay. Anyway, I'm like, I need them to see, asshat. Like, if I didn't need to read the screen right now, I wouldn't have them on. Yet, waffle. Anyway, wasn't very Christian of me, but sometimes God grant me patience to deal with people. Anyway, guys, is what it is. Getting my husband to put his dishes in the dishwasher is a lost cause. Heck, I can't even get him to rinse his dishes. I know. It is. I've tried. I even put a Post-it note above the sink that says don't leave dishes in the sink. And I've explained to them, like 90% of the time, the dishwasher is dirty because I time it so that I run the dishwasher right before Frankie gets home, and then her chore is to unload it when she gets home, right? So like there's a very small window where there's like clean dishes in there, right? And so I'm like, just put it in. But anyway, so now they've just taken to, because of the sign that I had up, putting it next to the sink. And I did that so that the sink wouldn't stain, because they were just putting a bunch of stuff and then it was sticking to the sink and staining. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Oh, no worries, Auntie Ann. It's fine. And he's like, I mean, he's one of our regular commenters, and he's usually kind of on the negative side, but like, that just really, I don't know why that rubbed me so wrong just now, but it really did. Like, it just really did. I don't know why. The glasses make you look like a hot librarian. Well, thank you. I mean, yes, they're dorky glasses from the Dollar Tree, but I need them to see because I'm getting old and I can't see. So there's that. SW, funny, we all have our pet peeves. I so relate. Happy Wednesday. Thank you. I'm telling you. I was wondering who he was. I know, Cuddly, right? It's fine. I didn't block him, but I did block him from commenting. So, he was a jerk. Don't want to get on your skin. I know. And you know what's funny is, I mean, I realized today, and I only realized it today, fun fact, I was catching up on YouTube videos today because I hadn't watched anybody's channel in a hot minute. So I was watching the video that Ant and Rocks posted like 2 weeks ago of them saying like, hey, we're gonna take a beat and kind of think about what we want to do. Roxanne might want to go get a job. I've got some health stuff going on. Like, we're gonna take a minute. And they were talking about how they had been doing it for 5 years and they had never really intended to do YouTube, and they sort of kind of fell into it and the whole thing. Nobody ever really, there's very few people I think that set out with the intention of doing YouTube. Like when we started YouTube, like we didn't think it was going to be a thing. Like we just didn't, I realized after them making the comment of it being 5 years, I was like, man, have we been doing YouTube because I was trying to figure out in my head, and I was like, has it been 10 years? Like, it's been a minute. So I went and looked it up, and we had started the channel in January of 2016. And granted, in the beginning, we did not post a lot. Like, the videos were kind of like, and then we had one of our earlier videos, like early on, went a little bit viral. And then we had another one that went a little bit viral, like early on. And so we went from like nothing to like 1,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers, and like we were kind of building momentum. But I was like, yeah, I mean, I get it. After 9 years, I feel the same way sometimes of like it's hard to come up with content because I feel like we've already done this video 10 times on how to can this. We've already done this video 10 times on how to process your chickens. We've already done this video, So sometimes it's a little tricky, to find things that you can post. And, I know some people are fine with watching, what our day looked like and like me doing regular chores and me running to the store and me picking up the kid and like whatever and more of that. But some people aren't. And so then you'll have your views are kind of like all over the place because of it. So it's kind of nuts. That's right. Dollar Tree stuff is fire. We all have a breaking point. If y'all need them, you need them. Haters will always hate. Personally, I think they are awesome glasses. Oh, thank you, Daniel. That's right. I'm curious, will they slide down your nose more the older you get? I know. Well, I think here's what I think, because all of my glasses, even my prescription glasses that were like fitted to my head, they all slide down. And also, I tend to wear my reading glasses like this because then if I have them like this and then I look up, I'm like, oh, I can't, like it hurts my eyes. So I have to be able to like, I need bifocals, right? Or whatever they call them, progressives. However, my eye doctor won't give me those yet because he said your eyes are still transitioning. So we can't do that yet. We have to wait. So I'm just in this weird, like in the middle place right now where I just have to like ride it out, which is basically what your doctor tells you about menopause too. They're like, there's nothing we can do for you. Figure it out. Like, so it's fun getting older as a woman. I'm loving it. Mike's TikToks are doing really well, actually. It's funny because his TikToks, the algorithms are so, and the audiences are so different between like TikTok and YouTube, for example. He can post a video that'll do really, really well on TikTok, and then we'll post it as a short, and it won't do very well. Or it'll do like really well. Like we had one that did really, really well. Like it's just weird. Like, but yeah, his TikTok's doing really well. Like right now, we're making more from TikTok than we are from YouTube because YouTube views generally right now are down across the board. Like even looking at some other channels like in our genre, I can see that their views are in a dip as well too right now. So it's just, it happens. It happens. Hello, Kentucky Bluegrass Living. I thought about doing a YouTube video of me working on the tractor, but it would end up like Tim's Dozer video. Oh, that's funny. Bro, I look like someone off the Mama's Family show from time to time. You're good. That's right, Jay. I know. I've thought about and I'm not even kidding about this. I wish I was. They make these really pretty like necklaces that have like these pendants, which they used to have. Like I remember seeing them a lot in the probably late 80s, early 90s, and then they kind of went away again. Think like designing women era. Like those women would have like the necklace that had like, it looked like a pendant, but it was actually like a reading glass, like a monocle, but like more looked like jewelry, right? Like it didn't look like you were wearing your thing around your neck, right? And they have some now that really look like that. And then they have these like fancy fold out glasses that go in. Anyway, there's all kinds of them. And I'm like, I'm so tempted to just get one because like when you're out somewhere nice, or if you're at church, it would be nice to have, so I don't know. Billy Tyson says, I wear my glasses down my nose too. But even like if I like right now have my contacts in, if I have my regular glasses on, the ones, my knockaround ones I wear around the house and like around the farm and stuff are so beat up and like misshapen because I rebend them myself so that they don't slide down. So they come out like this. It's so bad. But then I have like my glasses, like my good glasses that I only will wear like if I'm out somewhere and have to take my contacts out. You know what I mean? I think those of us that wear glasses know what I'm talking about. You have your good glasses and then you have your like the ones you fall asleep in the couch wearing when you're watching TV. Yeah, those. I see Mike's TikTok before YouTube. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, his TikTok is, in fact, I know they're filming something. Is it tomorrow? They're film No, not tomorrow. What day was it? She said she had to film a TikTok with him. I don't remember, but he did slow down this week. But he was trying to post every day there for a while because they had this in like a special program going on. So he was trying to post like as much as he could. But I'm terrible at not watching shorts. I know I don't watch them either. Which is funny because I like TikTok, but I don't like YouTube Shorts generally. So I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Stop. I know, right? It's true. It's true. I'm telling you. Hello from Oklahoma. What's up, Taylor Talk with Matt? Where's the rest of the crew? So Frankie's at church. She has youth group tonight. And actually dropped her off early. We actually went to Walmart first. We had to get more squirt bottles because of the kitten. Keep her off the tables. And yes, I'm talking about you. She's over looking. She's trying to catch a fly in the window right now. Bless her. She's too cute. And she had to film her, I forget what they call it. There's a word for it, but she had to film part of her routine. Like it's like a certain move that they have to like turn in as an assignment for band that they were working on. So she has to film it and like email it to him. Anyway, she wanted to film it in the gym at church because there's no wind, the lighting's good, and she could have somebody film her really easily from you. So anyway, I dropped her off early for that. And then her boyfriend met her at church and is bringing her home. So I don't have to go get her, which is nice because he went to youth because he's a good boy. So, and Mike is out in the yard somewhere or in the shop. I know he was helping a friend, one of our buddies, needed some help like with his garden, needed some advice about a few things. And he said, well, come over one day, just give me a heads up and I'll go over like some things with you. And I guess it was more of like when to plant what and like how to get it started and like whatever. So he's like, I think that's what he's doing right now because I saw his truck out front. So I think that's what's happening right now. I think he's giving him like a one-on-one, like, this is what you do, gardening lesson. Instead of just saying, watch my gardening playlist. Like, but that's where they're at. That's why I'm by myself again. I know. A few people have gotten like mad that like he has not come into the lives lately and it's just been me, and I get it. I'm not as entertaining. I know. So my grandma had a few of those necklaces. I can't remember the brand, but they were higher end of Avon, like the 50s era. Yeah, like I feel like every like 20 years or so, you see like a resurface of them because there's a bunch of us blind menopausal women running around that like don't want, like, I mean, I end up with like the glasses on my head or the glasses, like if it's during the day, I have to have my sunglasses. So my sunglasses are either on my face or on my head. When I go in the store, they go on my head, but then my reading glasses are in here. So then I have sunglasses on my head. And then if I have to read something in the store, I have to put my reading glasses on with sunglasses on my head. I mean, I look like a complete idiot, I'm sure. But like also I need to be able to see. So I laugh every time I see one of his shorts. He sounds like a used car commercial, but actually delivers useful info. That is Mike in a nutshell when he mansplains. That is the tone. The way he speaks in TikTok when he's excited about something is how he explains stuff to us, like when the camera's not rolling. I wish I was joking, but it's true. It's true. The YouTube shorts are in a different spot than the rest of my subs, so I miss seeing them most of the time. Yeah, mine are like in the middle. Like if I scroll for a little bit on my homepage and then they like randomly will pop up, but then you scroll sideways. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. That's right. Don't be a bum. Hit that thumb. I know. He's out looking for the rake that we can find, which is actually not a joke. When I was doing the yard work out here, I was looking for the big like plastic rake, that's kind of soft because I wanted to be able to rake up the stuff. Couldn't find it. Looked everywhere. The only place I didn't look was up in the loft in the shop. But I was like, there's no way he would have put the rake in the loft. So the only other thing I could think of is that it was in the garden or near the garden and it fell and then like got grown over, which has happened before with different rakes and tools. So I suspect that it's somewhere like that. So he says I'm too young to do progressive lenses or bifocals, and he also won't do monovision contacts. Also, my contact lens prescription, I'm 100% sure has changed again because now I'm having trouble seeing again. Like I can see when I'm driving, like, but I can't, like, I have to be up on that street sign at just the right distance to be able to see it. Like it's getting like, and I had to go back to him. I've gone back like twice now in the last 2 years and been like, dude, I can't see again. Like I'm 100% sure my prescription's changed. It's just frustrating. It's like, and then I tried to wear some of but then I'm like, did it change? Like, what's wrong? Because then I tried to wear my old glasses thinking like, oh, maybe this prescription will be better. And like, when I looked through it, I was like, oh, perfect. This is the right prescription right now. But then it made me incredibly nauseous. So maybe it was too strong. I don't know. I'm like, I told Mike, he said something the other day about like, I thought you could hear anything because I was like, he's so loud, like he wakes me up at night when he comes to bed, or like if he thinks he gets up to go to the bathroom and he's quiet, he's not. It's like a bear tramping through the woods, and then he like launches himself back in bed so the whole bed shakes, and then I'm like, I'm up, So instead of like me, I like tiptoe out of bed like it's a Mission Impossible movie. Like I'm in the middle of a jewel heist, and then I sneak back in so as not to disturb the cat, the dog, and the husband, like, and get back in. And so I'm like on this much of the bed. Like it's a whole thing, right? But anyway, I digress. And I was like, I can't hear anything anymore. I can't see anything anymore. I'm just bumbling around on the planet at this point. I have no idea what's happening. So I know I'm missing comments left and right, probably. I'm trying to hit them, but also I miss them. I don't know. Or I didn't see them. I did put it to the whole chat. I did remember to do that today. So I don't know. No line by, yeah, those are the progressives. Yeah, no line bifocals is the progressives. I think, right? That's my understanding. But he won't give those to me yet, which is fine too, because also apparently my prescription's changing like every 6 months at this point. So I don't know. It's so fun. I'm at that age where I have to turn the music down to read the road signs. Yes, exactly. Although I did laugh because the other day we were going somewhere. Frankie was driving. I think we were in Tupelo, maybe Starkville. I don't remember. We were going somewhere, and I watched her. We were getting close to where we needed to like figure out where to turn in, right? And she turned the radio down, and I was like, "That's how it starts." I was like, "You're getting old. You just had to turn the radio down, dear." She's like, "Shut up." Red top, red fingernails, no red lipstick. I'm out. I know. But see, this is actually like, they do look like the same color on camera, but in person, this is like, it's kind of like, I mean, they're pretty close, but it's like a hot orange, like corally color. It's not really red. It's my favorite like spring color that I do. And I just got them done yesterday and did my shopping in Starkville. But if I had red lipstick on, like my red lipstick that's like a true red, you'd be like, oh, those aren't red nails, because then you'd see it would clash. But I don't know. I don't wear my red lipstick very often because it's a lot. I feel like it makes my lips look really, really big, so I don't wear them very often. But I do have a good like true red lipstick that I really, really like. And it's funny because it's made by Gwen Stefani, and I randomly found it on TikTok, and it is like the best red lipstick I've ever found. So, with one exception, there was one other red lipstick that I also really like that's called True. I think it's called True Blue Red or True Red or something, but it's got a lot of blue in it, so it's that really like red. And it's the same brand of the one I always wear that like doesn't come off because I don't like having to reapply lipstick. But the problem is because my lips are so big, it wears away on the red, and you can see where it wears away as the day goes on, like if you're drinking water and stuff, because it like stains your lips weird. I don't know how to describe it. But anyway, that's why I wear it a lot. I just wear this boring one every day. But it's on once, then I don't have to mess with it forever until I scrub it off. I've turned it down on Rob when he was driving and I'm navigating, and he gave me the strangest look and asked why I turned down the radio. Ah, I know. I see. I'll go on a full-on tangent. I really will. It doesn't take me much to like give you all the intel, I guess, basically. But yeah. Oh, you know what I didn't tell you was about the visitors. I got on such a ramble. I didn't mean to wait this long to tell you guys. So, bless me. Okay. So, not this weekend, but next weekend, the weekend of the 12th, that Frankie has homecoming on Saturday. Which also is weird because the first homecoming game was last week. And in my day, homecoming dance, you had your first homecoming game that Friday. And then you had your first homecoming or your homecoming dance for that season the next day on that Saturday. Her school, they don't even have a home game the weekend they're having homecoming, let alone the first homecoming game. I don't understand. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just a Mississippi quirk. So, the Williamsons, Chantal and Dwayne, we're going to come for a visit for a few days. And we've been talking about it for a while. And we were like, first they were like, how about Labor Day weekend? And something was going on that one of those days. And I was like, oh, the following weekend would be better because of whatever. And I honestly don't remember what it was. I think there was something I thought was happening. Oh, I know. It was because I was working the concession stand and she had the home game. And I was like, ugh, she has the home game. I'm working the concession stand. Like, I'm going to be tied up for a while. Like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, any of the following weekends would be better just because then I won't be tied to like, bye guys, for 4 hours or 3 hours or whatever it was. So anyway, and they were like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. So they were going to come out the weekend she has homecoming, which is the weekend of the 12th. Well, then he got tied up with some work stuff and they're not going to be able to come that weekend. So they're looking at either the following weekend or the last weekend in September. So I'm excited. I told them, because I texted them to like get their itinerary, basically like, hey, what time are you going to be into town? Like, just so I could kind of figure out like, okay, do I need to like give them the town tour in the afternoon and then we'll come back and have dinner here, or do we want to go out to dinner that night, or like what, whatever. Just because I knew Mike would still be working. And so it turns out now with them coming later, because that was when she told me about the work stuff. If they come, what is it, the weekend of the 19th, Frankie's got a home game that Friday. So I'm like, you can come to the home game. We can leave after halftime if you guys don't want to stay for the whole game, or we can stay and then, whatever. And I said, and then we can introduce you to some people around town because the whole town will be at the football game. And then I go, but if you come the following weekend, we have our flywheel festival. And so we can swing by that too. And you can see it because she was really interested in like the silly stuff like that our town does, So anyway, so they are coming, but they're not coming next week like I thought. It's going to be either another week or two after that, which I'm bummed because I was looking forward to seeing them, but it's fine. It'll be even nicer weather when they get here. So better for like giving them the full tour and all of that stuff, but it's all good. It's all good. They're actually really light, so they don't hurt. They're very light. Seed beads. And they match my shirt. So, and my nails. So it's fine. But yeah. Did I start early tonight? I guess I did. I didn't realize that. I was like looking at that clock and that clock not matching up. Dwayne want to have spaghetti cook-off with you and get someone like Ryan to judge it. So there is no favoritism. I know, right? Well, I already knew I was going to make them pasta when they come. In fact, when I went to Kroger, because Kroger is the only place that I found the pasta that I really like. There's a certain brand and the cavatappi. and that's a certain brand. I forget what the brand name is. I just know it by the box. It's like blue and yellow, and it's a special kind of um, wheat. It's not like enriched. It's a Durham wheat. Um, it's not like gluten free or anything like that, but it's not enriched, and it's not like it's processed, but not like processed, right? Anyway, I like it better, and it's dry aged, and all the stuff. So anyway, it's really good, and I enjoy it. Thank you, Billy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make them that and a thing of sauce. I'm gonna keep it real simple. I'm not even gonna do like a meat sauce. I don't think. I don't know. I might. We'll see. And then I do want to make. I think for whatever week they do come, I want to plan if they're planning on staying. I know they want to come to church with us, but yeah, not bleached and not like also enriched, because enriched is not good either. Um, but it's just like with rice, you want it to say, and jasmine rice is the only one that you can find that's like that. So that's all I buy now is jasmine rice, because all other rice, pretty much, of the white rices anyway, is it'll say like enriched, or sometimes they'll word it a little differently. You want the only ingredient to say jasmine rice, and that means that's it. So I don't think Chantel's going to be processing a chicken anytime soon. I like, look, I watched their video today of her trying to clean out the bunny and quail cages, and I love her, but I've talked to her about it before too. Like her little broke neck quail that she's got still, I'm like, I would have called that day one, because she texted me that day and she's like, what do I do? And I was like, you cull it. And she's like, I feel bad. And I was like, look, you can try to save it. You can try to get it, like give it vitamin E. And I gave her a list of stuff, and she's like, okay. And she did all the things, but it's still like, you know, and I'm like, I would have called it like day one. I would have been like, done. But that little thing's still alive. Um, you know, it is what it is. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't think she's not one for because we've even asked her, like, what are you gonna do now that you have bunnies? Like when you breed them, you're gonna have, or now that you have rabbits, when you breed them, you're gonna have bunnies. Are you gonna raise them, process them out, and have meat? And she was like, no, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I'm not gonna eat them. And I was like, girl, you're gonna have all these quail before you know it, because she's breeding them. She's like collecting eggs. I'm like, you're gonna have to learn how to process the quail. Like, I don't know what her game plan is. Like, I love her, but I'm like, girl, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have a whole house full of meat in your garage between your rabbits and your quail, because both those things breed and multiply like crazy. I'm like, you're gonna have more meat than you know what to do with, and you're still gonna be buying meat at the grocery store because you won't cull any of them, you won't process any of them. So she is scared to death of her birds. I was dying. I was like, girl, we need to fix that. But have you tried spaghetti with boiled shrimp instead of beef? Boiled? I would not boil it. Are you talking like when you put the meatballs in and let it simmer in the sauce, and you're talking about doing the shrimp that way? That's one thing. But I don't like put boiled shrimp in. Like I either saute them and then put them in the sauce right at the end, or put them on top when I do shrimp. But I don't like shrimp with a red sauce. I only do shrimp when I'm doing like a white wine sauce. I mean, I occasionally have done it with red, but it's not my favorite. So I'm in Colorado. There's quail everywhere. That's right. Dwayne will have to be the murderer. I know. But even that, she like doesn't want him to do it either. So I know her picking them up. I was dying. I was like, girlfriend, you just got to get in there and grab them. Oh, yeah, I know. She cracks me up. She's like, she's really good in the garden. Like nothing scares her in the garden that I've seen. But like the animals, she's very like, I don't know. I'm gonna get her out here with the sheep and the goats and stuff. So we'll see. And also, I know it's about time for me to go, guys, but just real quick, Caroline, which is like our oldest goat, um, she's like 6, and I'm pretty sure she has cancer. She's starting to slow down now. She's super, super skinny. She's still eating and stuff, but not with quite the excitement that she normally does. And you can tell she's slowing down. So just say a little prayer for Caroline that she goes peacefully like in her sleep. She's an old girl. She's been a good girl. I know that the end is nigh. If she starts suffering, I will not let her suffer. Right now, she's just clearly in decline, but she's still playing, living her life, doing her stuff, but she looks like a little skeleton. And so, anyway, um, just keep a good thought for Caroline. I just don't want to have to put her out of her misery. It's like harder sometimes. I just prefer that she passes peacefully. So that's the prayer that I ask for right now from you guys, is just pray that she goes peacefully and that we don't have to intervene. Because intervening for one of those kinds of animals would mean me having to tell Mike to go get the gun because I'm not going to do it. There's certain animals that I'm like, I can't do that, you know. But anyway, more so with the quadrupeds. I'm like, Mike, that's your job. Anyway, guys, go show some love to DD5. They are going live tonight, and then MT Homestead and Brian at Vineyard Farmhouse, and Old Man King Homestead is on at 10. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out with me. As always, stay blessed, and remember, safety's off. Bye. I'm saying goodbye with my ugly glasses.